Alright, this week we have 3 games to go over. Definitely a lot more fun to watch. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Habs Fan Forum. My name is Ben Dankew. I am your host, and here at the Habs Fan Forum, this is where us fans get to have our voices heard. Alright, let's talk about those Montreal Canadiens. Alright, this week we have 3 games to go over. First against the Washington Capitals, then against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then finally against the Buffalo Sabres. 3 teams in the East, a little bit of a New York swing there. Definitely a lot more fun to watch. Especially, anything was an improvement after that New Jersey Devils beatdown. Martin St. Louis coming in, all that. I can tackle that in today's video. For some of my player notes, I will take a look at Cole Caulfield and how he's been performing over the last few games. Finally got that monkey off his back. And finally, the Toffoli trade. How could I not talk about that? Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon make a big splash. And you know what? Potentially start the avalanche of trades. Who knows? For my fan question of the week, I want to know how you were feeling about watching these new games under Martin St. Louis as the coach. Do you think he gave them a spark? Do you think they're playing a little better with them? How do you feel Martin St. Louis' first 3 games were? Okay, so looking at the games, none of them were wins, so they still went 0-3. You can only be so happy when they go 0-3. They got pretty thoroughly outplayed by Washington. Columbus was a nail-biter where Patrick Laine, with an absolute bullet of a shot, sinks them with just 6 seconds left. It was tied up to that point 1-1. Definitely a lot less goals in some of these games. However, in that game against Columbus, you kind of see Montembeault stand on his head. And in the first game against the Capitals, those early goals kind of sunk them before they could really get going. But at least they were in these games. They were winnable. You can see the big swing of a difference of how the goaltenders play, and that forced a move by the Montreal Canadiens. They knew they couldn't have Caden Primo in net anymore. He needs to go back to the AHL, which was apparent to everybody. And they also knew they needed someone to help supplement Samuel Montembeault, who's injured and can't be the only goalie on the roster. So they actually brought in Andrew Hammond, which he hasn't played yet for the team, but a welcome reprieve to be able to send Caden Primo down. And you could see it over this last week under Martin St. Louis with the players having a little pep in their step. There wasn't as many goals, still 5 goals in 2 of the 3 games, which is, funny enough, an improvement over previous, but there was still quite a few goals, and they got to clean that up. I don't see any reinforcements for solid goalkeeping anytime in the future until Jake Allen and maybe Carey Price get back. They're just going to be hanging on. In that third game against the Buffalo Sabres, they still let in 5 goals, and I think they had either 3 or 4 goals for Jeff Skinner, who is having a little bit of a resurgence this year after some pretty down years on a $9 million contract. But nonetheless, they lose another one, 5-3. They were pretty close up in the second period, and then lost it in the third with 2 goals. Let them slip away. So all in all, they go 0-3 on the week. They did play much better. It was much more enthusiastic, fun hockey. At least it was a product that I could watch. But nonetheless, they still kind of dropped all 3. Before I continue, just a quick word from our sponsors. The Habs Fan Forum is proudly a part of Rocket Sports Media and the Hockey Podcast Network and is sponsored by DraftKings. Right now, you can download DraftKings Sportsbook, and as a first-time user, when you download the app, use the promo code THPN, place down a bet of $1, and they will give you a free $100 of betting credits to use as you will, and make a good return on that money, hopefully. So if you don't have DraftKings Sportsbook in your state, that's okay. You can still use the promo code THPN for lots of free prizes. Alright, just a couple notes on some players and some play throughout the week. Cole Caulfield got that monkey off of his back, scored his first and second and almost third goal in, you think he has like 1 goal in 31 games up until this period. So he definitely need to light the lamp a little bit because he's there for goal scoring. Just a quick note that there's definitely some problems with Caulfield's play. Rick Stevens and Amy Johnson talk about this at length on the Canadiens Connection, so you can find out what their thoughts are on Cole Caulfield. Of course, all of us think it's great he's scoring goals. All of us can see some benefit in Martin St. Louis coming in and talking and coaching with him. But at the end of the day, he still needs some more time in the AHL, and it might not look like the right thing to do, but long term, I think that would be the right thing to do as well. So Amy and Rick break it down a lot more thoroughly. Check out their podcasts. And finally, on to some other huge news for the week because the Canadiens are again full of it. Kent Hughes trades Tyler Toffoli to the Calgary Flames for a first-round pick, a fifth-round pick, Emil Heineman, who is a second-round 2020 and his prospect playing out in the SHL, and then finally Tyler Pitlick, who is a depth piece they can kind of add in, kind of just throw in for salary, I'm sure. But nonetheless, a pretty good haul for Tyler Toffoli, a first, a fifth, and technically a recent second. Of course, I've spoken about it before. I didn't really want to see Tyler Toffoli traded because of how great of a player he is. But if you're going to rebuild and you got to sell off your highest prized possessions, he's definitely one of them. He had a lot of value, as you can see from this haul. And you know what? He's going to do great things in Calgary. So overall, happy for the trade. I think it's good for both teams. And it starts, hopefully, what could be many more trades leading up to this trade deadline. So we're on that deadline watch coming up soon over the next month. So we'll just have to see what happens. That's it for this week's episode of the Habs Fan Forum. Thanks again for watching. My name is Ben. Thank you. And if you liked the video, just like down below, share, tell your friends, subscribe to get more awesome content from the All Habs YouTube channel. You can go to allhabs.net for more awesome Canadiens content and follow All Habs on Twitter for the best Montreal Canadiens coverage. Thanks again for watching, and finally, woo! Go Habs, go, baby!